Alright everybody, today is August, I think it's the 26th, I should have looked this up already. Oh yeah, August 26th, and today we'll be talking a little bit about PNIN, is that, how do you say it? PNIN, PNIN. They're arguing in there. Alright, I will not cut, never cut. But yeah, we're going to talk about this Vladimir Nabokov book. Even if there's noise going on in the background, just fuck it. So in this one, there's like this Russian middle-aged, I think he teaches Russian, and he's like teaching, yeah, he's this English immigrant, Russian immigrant coming to the United States, or is it England? Fuck. That I might have mixed up. Maybe it is England. Okay, anyway, he's coming to one of those places, right? And, god damn it. Humidity again. I can't wait till it's not summer anymore, I'll tell you that. Texas, man. Blue. Maybe I was like, take off my glasses like this. Yeah. Alright, so PNIN. Here's the back. Oh, and there's a quote by Graham Greene, if you can see it. Yeah. It's too difficult to do. Anyway, so in the book, he starts off and he's on this train, and he ends up being on the wrong train. So he finds out he's on the wrong train eventually. And through dramatic irony, we're told he's on the wrong train. And then, like, a lot of things go wrong with him. He meets up with his ex-wife. I think the dude's like 56 or something. He's some professor, like I said, of Russian studies, whatever. Has problems with English. Talks about that. When he meets up with his ex-wife, and then he meets up with his son, Victor, I believe. Victor Ward, his ex-wife's name Eliza Ward, but like his son isn't really his son. She had it with another dude, I guess, and said it was his. Lying bish. So it goes. Let me see. There's let me see if I'll talk to I have to stick to the. But yeah, his son is like a genius. Oh yeah, so the irony of his son is they seem to worry about him not because he has problems, because he doesn't have the typical problems the kid does. He's like this genius, and he's like he's just completely perfect almost. He doesn't act bad or anything, and it's kind of like the irony of perfection, and that the normality of our flaws, we see it as closer to the true route of, like, I don't know if you'd say perfection, but that's what we're used to. So when somebody acts perfect, in the sense that they act differently than the path that they're expected to take from the normal person, then it's seen as weird, and then they worry about him. So it's like the perfection can be relative in a sense, depending on what we mean by perfection. What does it mean to be perfect? The word perfect is kind of an imperfect kind of a word, just to be fucking glib about it. But I do think there are words like that, like love and perfect and God, and there's more too, but the words are just like they almost become too abstract to the point we don't really know what we mean by them, or people have different definitions of them, like the idea of perfection. It's just so it can be very confusing. It can be used in different contexts to mean different things. Let's see, is there anything else to talk about the plot of it? So at the end of the book, he finds out, he's like, I was hoping I was going to get tenure, and then, who's the guy, I can't remember, Hagen or something? He's like, no, I actually have to be fired. So, like, things just constantly go wrong for this guy. And I think in the final chapter, I have this problem where I kind of miss little details. I don't know if I'm spacing out. Like, I love the words. Every so often, I'll come across cool words. That's one of my favorite things about Nabokov. Like, Slava Bogu, which means thank God. I was like, oh, that's a cool word, so I wrote that down. Or Arabia Felix is a descriptor for Africa. I was going to say South Africa, but I'm not sure. I can't remember what part of Africa it is, Arabia Felix. And there's also the word defenestration, which I already knew what that meant. It means to throw somebody out of a window. But I was like, I love it. That's one of my favorite words to come upon, so I had to at least mention that. The word defenestration comes up in this book. It's always a fun word. And then I wrote down, I didn't bring out, I sometimes have a notebook I bring out with these books, and I didn't bring it out, where I wrote down little Russian references. Like he talked about the poems of Turgenev, and he'll describe characters as like I think he mentions the guy. Who's that book? The guy that does Lost? Is it Lost Souls or Bought Souls? Gogol or whatever. Is it Alexander Gogol? Anyway, his name's Gogol. I've read that book, but yeah, I'm not gonna like talking about Gogol. But he does make a lot of references. I won't say over my head, but they're just like not something I've experienced with, because he just grew up and like Nabokov's like a literary genius, like even I think Christopher Hitchens said he's like the greatest English writer possibly, and at least modern English writer, and that's so much more impressive by the fact that he's not even natively English, and so he has all this Russian experience and culture on top of that, and then he just uses it like what do you call it, so fluently, that you can't really, if you're not already on his level, you can't get on his level. It's too fast to like catch up to, so that's the problem I had with the references. I still appreciate the references, and I still looked up some of the references he made, but some were just to describe a certain character as being more of this certain writer, like more of like a Chekhov than more of a Turgenev or something like that. He's more Turgevenovian or something, something like that. I'm like, all right, I don't know what that means. Like, I would have to be more familiar with the written works of them to be able to like, analyze that kind of a concept in my head. Yeah, but he's not referring to a single thing, but the characteristics of a writer. Let's see what else, if there's anything else to talk about. Right off until like I said, I didn't say this, but I guess the last chapter, it's like the narrator turns out to be Nabokov himself, I believe. Is that VV or whatever is what we're supposed to think of. They mention him in here. I'm just going to go ahead and get to that, actually. So let's start on page 25. Page 25. And I am out in... If you got Pac-Man fever, then that is the underwear that you will get to witness me in. It's beautiful, right? What chapter it was on? Oh yeah, so I can kind of agree with him here. He says, some people, and I am one of them, hate happy endings. We feel cheated. Harm is the norm, blah, 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 blah. I agree. I love me some unhappy endings. We need more context for, like, if you have the massage part, right? Okay. What is that? So, okay, evolution. This one stuck with me too. The evolution, whether I know what it means or not. The evolution of sense is, in a sense, the evolution of nonsense. And so we have a card for me by what's that strange band going to do? All right, let me wipe this again. Stupid humanity. All right, what's the next one? 88, so we're jumping. Oh, yeah. Alright, so this is a cool etymology one. Yep, let's get to the etymology. This is the exciting. Oh, yeah, the etymology section. I always look forward to. Oh, yeah, and then you can see some of the reader. We'll get to that later with the reader. I actually enjoy this, the reader. Like, not only is it there like a meta aspect of the writer in this, there's also the meta aspect. Uniquely my experience, and I'm sure maybe you guys have copies written in, but uniquely, idiosyncratically my experience. He undoubtedly wavers. It's all throughout here. So on the next page, check this. There's a circle. Why is there a circle here? Come on, reader. What are you trying to do? Time is a flat circle. All right, hold on. God damn it. 88. Oh yeah. Okay. Bottom. Oh yeah. Okay. Bottom 88. Oh yeah, so I love this. I've actually, this is like a parallel I have with Nabokov. Victor was glad to learn that scroll came from a Greek word which meant shadow tell. Well, so I actually knew that. That's actually something I tell people whenever I'm talking about etymology. One of my favorite words is scroll, which translates to shadow tell. And the word, then when you go to Ouroboros, like squirrel, the square, aura is like the same word. They both mean tell. So instead of shadow tell, Ouroboros means tell eater, instead of shadow tell. So yeah, I find the answer. I guess it wouldn't be that. I don't know how to break it up in the scroll, but yeah, shadow tell and Ouroboros. Yeah, we'll show about that. What's the next one we're going to get to? 116. Oh yeah, 111 and 112. Let's see if we can get there. Oh, hey, there's somebody. This wasn't one I was going to show, but so you can see some more people talking about it. Talking about here's some popular novelists in the 40s and 50s. Hendrik Willem van Loon and Dr. Corona, which I'll have to take his, both very trashy novels. I'll have to take this guy's opinion for them because I don't know those authors at all. Of course, I try to avoid reading trash. So, okay, so there's some more stuff. Very like James Fenimore Cooper, which reminds me there's this article where Mark Twain just shits on James Fenimore Cooper, and I haven't read enough James Fenimore Cooper to appreciate the jokes, but I still appreciate the jokes kind of anyway, just because I can imagine it's that silly. I would. Should I go? Was it on this? Yeah, and he says this is you might have noticed, and he says also like Cooper. Alright, so what's page 116 at the bottom? 116. So here we go. It came as a shock to me. So this helped me kind of notice this, the reader here. The narrator is beginning to introduce himself. So it actually kind of made me to pay attention more to the meta aspects of the novel, which is, again, uniquely my experience, and was very helpful for me in a sense because, as I say, I tend to space out, and I'm like, oh, alright, the narrator, I need to pay attention to what he's doing. Which turns out, I guess, to be Nabokov. Spoilers. I don't know. I guess that's spoilers. What's page 1? Bottom middle. Oh, yeah, so, interesting on this is they talked about the start date in Anna Karenina. Starts beginning at Friday, February the 23rd, 1872. Interesting. Okay, this is going to be completely off topic what I'm about to say, but it is related in the sense that it's related to a date. I was watching Nope rewatching Nope for the first time. I had seen it in theaters, the Jordan Peele movie that came out this year. This is 2022, August 26, 2022. And I was trying to figure out what date the movie takes place because I saw the x-ray of the guy's head with the quarter girl suit in the beginning. It's not too much of a spoiler because it's early. And it said, I thought it said 99. I was like, that can't be right. And then I looked it up. I'm thinking, that was I guess a birthday, and it was actually 1949, so it was Otis Jr., or it was Otis, Sr. But it says, if you look it up on Google, it says the movie takes place in 1998. However, and in fact, when you get to the Gordy scene, it says 1998. But if you look at the magazine on Jupe's wall, the Mad magazine, the one mocking fun of the one that's mocking the scenario he ends up talking about, the central scenario around the Jupe character, how he gets the way he is, actually says July 1997. So I don't know if that's a mistake. It seems like an easy one to catch. So I don't know what's up with that. I'm curious about that. But yeah, finally, I guess it finally came out on the Pirate Bay. Yesterday. A web rip and all that cam shit. Alright, what's the next? We'll go on. We won't have to talk about Jordan Peele. I don't know if I'll ever do movie talk because there's so many movie review people on the net. I'll talk about books though because there's no one talks about this. Oh yeah, so page 128, self-referential note here. Oh yeah, so see here, right? It's Nabokov is entering the text, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, because he's talking about butterflies. I do know about this. I read his Wikipedia about how he studies butterflies. What do they call that? Oh no, goddamn dip. I can't remember. Referring to Nabokov anyway. Vladimir is not here. I'm trying to remember the goddamn word. I've always had the impression that it's entomology. Entomology is in the study of butterflies, though it's insects. I think I recall it used to be. Here, this one is page 133. Sorry, we were interrupted a little bit. Hey cat, what's up? I can't remember if this is the cat that likes being picked up or not. There's a sweet little cat out here. So the other one runs, but they look like each other. Anyway. This is just for my friend Dustin, who probably won't even watch this video. Oh, Cookie. It's white back Cookie. General N. Alright, and finally, this is the last one. He mentions, Mira Beloshkin, and apparently I looked it up on his wiki, and there's some squirrel that's supposed to, speaking of squirrel, oh yeah, I didn't even think, Shadow Tail. But, it is supposed to, there's supposed to be some squirrel, Shadow Tail that follows him around. And you got Mira, as the reader points out here, she died in a concentration camp.